Delegates, I represent the Blue Mountains and the Hawkesbury, the seat of Macquarie, and all the branch members who live within a national park. And you wouldn't be surprised, they care a lot about the environment, whether it's the Greater Blue Mountains World Heritage Area or the mighty Hawkesbury River. So it's a bit of a given that we would be thrilled to see this sort of legislation, this sort of policy being supported, and we look forward to the time when there is, hopefully very soon, a Labor government that will allow it to be put in place. Locally, we know the pressure our local area is under right now. Threats to the water quality of the river, threats to air quality from increased road transport and future air traffic, threats of encroaching housing development, the possibility of Aboriginal sacred sites being flooded or destroyed by potential raising of the Warragamba Dam, a myriad of current and future dangers, not only for our ecosystems, our cultural heritage and the environment, but for human health as well. And so many other parts of Australia face similar threats, whether it's the Great Barrier Reef, the fragile Northern Territory soils, including around the MacArthur River area, the Great Australian Bight. From north to south, east to west, there are threats, and state and territory governments respond differently to those threats. There's good reason for us to be careful, especially now as we face climate change. We need to be careful about how we develop and exploit the resources that we have so that we have sustainability, consistency, transparency and accountability. The record under the current rules that we have is abysmal. The current EPBC Act just isn't working. And since it was introduced in 1999 under John Howard, we've seen a 30% increase in the number of threatened species, with 3 species extinct. And Australia now has the greatest rate of mammal extinction in the world. That is nothing for us to be proud of. One of the reasons for this is the 7.4 million hectares of threatened species habitat that's been cleared. It's not just koala habitat that's going. That 7.4 million hectares is the size of Tasmania and more. And we're now in the top 10 you don't want to be in, the top 10 of the world's land clearers, alongside Indonesia and Congo. And we're the only developed nation that makes that list. We should be ashamed. In fact, since the current rules came in, there have been only 0.3% of projects refused due to their unacceptable environmental risk. 0.3%. Which is why it is time to have a new Environment Act and a federal Environment Protection Agency to provide rigorous, science-based decision-making that improves the processes, ensures sustainability and works better to protect our fragile environment for generations to come. And I want to recognise the work of the Labor Environment Action Network members, for once again their effective campaigning, working with branches across the country, has meant that we can confidently back policies here today that have huge member support. So well done, Len.
Thanks, Susan. Margot.